Hello, it's the great and glorious, soon-to-be famous NickDutch yet again. Hi there, how's it going? Just a very quick one this evening, on astral projection, remote viewing and out-of-body experiences. There are three different types of anomalous experiences which essentially just happen. Alright, you can make them happen, and you can experience them under rare circumstances. I will start by saying, if you're serious about finding out about astral projection, I cannot recommend enough the book entitled The Projection of the Astral Body by Sylvan Muldoon. That's S-Y-L-V-A-N, I think, Muldoon, M-U-L-D-O-O-N, and Hereward Carrington. That's H-E-R-E-W-A-R-D-C-A-R-R-I-N-G-T-O-N. Okay, gorgeous. Probably the most scientifically written book on the subject. Okay, but I just want to try and go into a little more detail. The type of astral projection which Sylvan Muldoon has spoken about is to experience yourself just as you are now whilst watching this particular YouTube video, as if you're, in your body, still sensing your body in more or less the same way, but literally being outside of your body, so your actual physical body will be sleeping somewhere else. That's one method, alright? And that can take a fair time to achieve. I did manage to, through following the instructions in Sylvan Muldoon and Hereward Carrington's The Projection of the Astral Body, achieve that particular type of experience on a number of different occasions. I will point out that during one of these particular occasions I did travel through visualization and concentration to meet someone who I was already emotionally connected to. I extended my arm and essentially moved into their head and sculpted a dream. I asked them what the dream was about the next day, and it was a carbon copy of the same dream I had after I'd had that particular moment of astral projection into their own head. So yes, that's another strange experience which can happen under some circumstances. But if we're trying to split these down into different types, you got number one, the complete exteriorization of the spirit from inside your body to outside of it. You've got number two, remote viewing, which is when you're still conscious, still aware of yourself, but your center of perception basically goes elsewhere, and you allow the visions to come through. So it's a combination between transmittive, in the fact that you are visualizing either yourself or your consciousness or your conscious awareness traveling to a place further away, and then being receptive to any images that come through. That happens on occasion when people ask me to do a variety of psychic or tarot reading to find a lost object on the other side of the world. Okay, it can't be achieved in a short space of time. It is quite a lengthy experience, but yes, that does happen as well. Another method of this form of remote viewing is when this normally happens during the hypnagogic state of sleep. So that's a stage just before you fall completely asleep, but you're kind of like seeing things in front of your closed eyelids. And with me, that's often seems to occur as like a disc about this big, like about that far away from me, appearing in my vision. And in that circle, in that little disc, I can end up seeing images of people, places and things. With concentration and visualization, I seem to be able to steer that to go and look in various places using my imagination or my passive will. So we've had a look at astral projection, we've had a look at some forms of remote viewing there. But when most people get involved in the occult, they're trying to deliberately create the various phenomena. The method which Sylvan Muldoon and Hereward Carrington talks about relies upon an almost cataleptic state, a state of not being able to move when you're in bed and basically can't move. Your physical body is completely inert. but your dream body, your astral body, can then move upward out of the physical, again through visualization and concentration, and to go and visit a person or a place. This seems to happen very effectively if there's a stress of desire or a stress of memory. And this is considered to be a ghost of a living person. If you are experienced at doing ritual magic techniques, it can often be fun to do design a chant in which you're mentioning the name of the person and saying "be here." So if you know someone called John and you're sitting in a circle, you say "John, be here, John, be here," many times over, using your visualization in your meditative and prayerful state to visualize his phantom leaving his physical body, traveling to where you are and appearing. And then of course naturally the next day, if you have the opportunity to talk to John, try and work out what he dreamt about and see if there's any connection or correlation between what you were doing within your ritual circle and what he was what he was going through and what he was dreaming about at that time. I would say that it's altered states of consciousness that makes any form of supernatural activity work for you. So again, experiment with prayer and meditation. Use visualization of the astral body leaving the physical. In all of the work that, in the book, The Projection of the Astral Body by Sylvan Muldoon and Harold Carrington, there's often mention of the astral cable, which is like something which you can extend out of your forehead, because like your brain is a nervous system thing, massive nervous system thing, and so therefore something coming out of the brain can then connect to the back of the head of the astral phantom. If that's true, of course that's just a point of view from observation. However, if that's true, it would make sense that when I'm doing that kind of remote viewing in the early stages of sleep and I'm seeing that little disc, that like tiny little screen in front of my vision, maybe that is the astral cable which I'm looking through. Of course I can't prove it either way, but it would make sense. There are various forms of visualization exercises that you can do when you're like lying on your back and trying to do an astral projection, such as visualizing your body as being like a star and visualizing it rotating slowly and surely in space. Because the idea of spinning is another way of just like rattling your ghost, your phantom inside you, so that it's more likely to come out. Also feelings of dizziness, trying to invoke into your mind, into your memory, the feeling of being dizzy, the feeling of being light, the feeling of floating is also a very useful exercise to do. But something even as simple and basic as just imagining that your eyes are actually travelling outside of your body and you're visualizing your eyes on the end of a bit of ectoplasm coming out of your forehead. I say ectoplasm because I can't think of another word to describe it, okay? And just visualizing, concentrating, feeling, sensing your sense of sight, your sense of hearing, travelling along this cable, along this bit of ectoplasm to wherever, because you're dealing with the astral spirit world, or whatever you want to call it these days. You can send this anywhere, through space, through time, and that is arguably one of the ways in which prophecy can occur. Not just through tools like your tarot cards, but also with things such as just a visualization, just concentration. It's another fun thing to experiment with. So I would say that remote viewing, when it's done in the psychic reading method, is different from that variety I do in the hypnagogic state of sleep, and that variety of total astral exteriorization that Sylvan Muldoon and Harewood Carrington spoke of.